Oh, people do understand how the Powered by the Apocalypse dice work. Should we go through that real quick? I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
It's a non-binary fail state system, so there's partial successes in it. Basically, if you roll 6 or less, that's just a miss. Not going to work. If you roll a 7 to 9, you're going to succeed, but there's going to be some kind of drawback that the game master decides. And if you roll a 10 or more, then you just succeed and just your thing happens. And in this game, if you roll a 12, you get a critical hit and you get like some extra thing added onto it. So yeah, that's how that system works. But yeah, with this, I mean, I think that the whole you can't miss or you can't like fail a skill check if you have an applicable skill for it is a really important and interesting design philosophy we see a lot with OSR games. Not written into the rules in a lot of them, but a lot of designers and game masters talk about it a lot. Okay. Where it's this idea that like if someone should be able to do something just by virtue of like the kind of class they are or their background or their training, don't bother to have them roll, because if they failed the roll, it actually doesn't make sense within the narrative. I think we most commonly see this referred to as only have the players roll when
there's a chance for failure.
Yeah, or like when failure would stymie their progress and like make the game screech to a halt, you shouldn't be having a dice roll involved, right? I think this just mechanizes that within the text.
See, I'm coming from a idea that like I can't really do. Maybe this is the 5th edition in my brain, but like let's look at deception as a skill. So I can't really do deception if I don't have that skill. But if I have that skill, then I am entitled to roll on deception. And that's where my brain would take it. But the OSR way of this system is that anyone can roll deception, but I can't fail if I have that skill. And is that because of the 3 different types of success? So does that make sense? Like, am I confusing skills and special abilities or something?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you're confusing it. I just think it's like the way it's been applied to the Powered by the Apocalypse thing is probably tripping you up a little bit. Yeah. It's just that idea where it's like, well, you're trained in it. So if you roll a 6 or less, you just can't completely fail it. You have to at least partially succeed. Yeah, that's where you have to at least partially succeed. Okay, because you are so good at it because you are trained in it.
So if I'm trained in deception and I roll a 4, it's like, well, your mustache fell off, but he still believes you in some way, but he's a little leery of you, and you kind of move forward with it, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I think in a less silly way, it would be like, this dude believes you, but somebody else totally realizes that you're lying, and they're going to go tell their boss in the background while you're trying to do something else, right? Okay. So there's going to be ramifications down the line, but in the immediate, you're probably fine.